Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the SU-100Y. It's a Tier 6 Soviet premium tank destroyer. It's located on the south spawn of Lakeville Encounter, and this one is under the command of SpybotAF. This is the box tank. Well, I think it's fairly obvious why it's been called the box tank. I think it was actually Quickie Baby who actually first named it, and yes, it is a box-like structure, manufactured from the hull of a T-100 heavy tank, which was an early tank that the Soviets designed, but they only made one of these actually. They were originally going to design them for use to knock down the Finnish bunkers in the Winter War, but in actual fact there was only one prototype, and that tank is now at Kubinka at the Tank Museum there, and more than likely it might be seen in Ukraine. No, I'm only joking. I doubt if they would take it out and put it into battle in Ukraine. It wouldn't last very long. It's a very big vehicle, very obvious, but it has one benefit. It's got a 13cm gun, the B13 S2 naval gun, which is capable of 440 alpha and penetrates 196mm of armor with the standard rounds. And he's found a target. It's a Cromwell B. He's dialing in, and look at that, blew the turret off, one shot, ammo racked him right through, went straight into the ammo, and yeah, he's deleted a tank. So actually it does more than 440. That's a direct hit than ammo rack. He managed to get 623 from that. He's about to do it again though. Stug 3, and he's out the game as well. Only got 291 off that one. Yes, it really can delete enemy tanks just like that. And rather unusually, for any tank actually, it does have a premium round which does more damage but has less penetration. 510 alpha from the premium rounds, but I'm afraid they only do 171mm of pen. So you actually have more pen with the standard shells, but less alpha, and more alpha with the premium rounds, but less penetration. And that's kind of unusual. In fact, one of the most unusual things about this vehicle. Of course, the one really good thing is that gun, but the really bad thing is the fact that this thing is so big, it's very, very visible. And yes, so it has very poor camo. It was originally going to be armed with a 152mm gun, but in actual fact, they then settled for the 13cm because it can do that. That's a high roll, 450. Oh, he took a round from an enemy tank there. It was the OI who fired back and he tracked him. But he's loaded now and he's going to give it another go. Standard reload, 15.34 seconds. He's got 13.15. I think the OI is dreading the next shot because it could be his last. Well, in fact, the OI is out the game. But whoever's just around the corner is more than likely dreading what they're going to get next. And it's more likely going to be their last. Well, it's not the last, but the IKV has lost most of his hit points, and now he's being bullied into submission. He has a 90mm gun. He just fired it, got a low roll, but he's out the game. And now it's the VK's turn to suffer the fate of 452 low roll. No, high roll, sorry. 452 is the high roll by 12 hit points. You can see how vulnerable this thing is because it is fairly easy to hit. And now that VK is down as well. It is a bit slow, 35 kilometers an hour. But of course that gun can delete a lot of enemy tanks. And he's already up to 2.2k of actual damage. And he's got some assist as well, 139 off that. Now the armor is fairly weak. That's one of the problems actually. It's only 60mm all around. So yeah, it's going to get penned by any tier 6 tank who's got enough penetration, so kind of vulnerable. But the fact that it can actually delete enemy tanks with one shot is a major bonus. Okay, he's got a KV-1 there who's firing in this direction. Oh, but he took a big hit and a high roll, 495, and he got a fire as well. And now he's out the game. They're leading this one by 6 tanks now. There's only 4 enemies left. 2 of those are the Arty. But of course, Arty can deal with a box tank simply by hitting it, and hitting it hard. They might not get penetrations, but they will slow him down and eventually stop him. Now you can see he's trying to use the natural terrain, the obstacles in the way, such as the rocks, the houses. There's the enemy bishop, and he can delete that guy, but he's got to take a long-range shot to do it. Oh, now look at that. Superior armor on the bishop. The Valentine hull took the shell and blocked it. But he's found another enemy, and this time it's the M44. He's just loaded, and he gets him. 3 kills now. There's only 1 enemy left. It's a T-3485M. He's somewhere in the valley, and I think he's regretting his life choices now about being in the valley, because he might have actually done better in the town. He's not going to last very much longer. He just got hit by Arty, and even though he just took out our Wolverine, he's about to find out how bad this 13cm gun can be. You get struck by it. It's lethal. Here we go. Hello, Mr. T-3485. We've got a special delivery for you. Oh! T-34 actually survived long enough to get destroyed by Arty in the end. Oh, actually, it was an M10 RBFM that got him. But Spybot had fun. What I forgot to mention during that battle was that this thing doesn't have much in the way of gun depression. Only 5 degrees. And unfortunately, the T-3485M took advantage of that and blasted Spybot with a shot straight through his weak spot. And that was the end of Spybot's game. But the T-3485M didn't last very much longer. He did get hit by Arty, but he then got taken out by the M10 RBFM immediately afterwards. And that was the end of the game. So it was a first-class tanker for SpybotAF in the SU-100Y, the box tank. He got a demolition expert because he blew that Cromwell B apart with just 1 round. You also got a fire effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle. Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 5 exactly. A high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game overall. And a tank sniper as well for dealing the most damage at a distance of 300 meters or more, with accuracy of 80% and at least 8 shots. His win rate was 8,568, which is Super Unicum standard and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, there you go. Highest damage, 3,091 hit points in the end went to Spybot. And of course, those 2 medals. The second highest damage in the game turned out to be the OI on the enemy team with 1,673. And the third highest damage was the guy who killed him in the end. Yet the T-3485M on the enemy team with 1,491. But of course, he died immediately afterwards. When it came to kills, it was Spybot, and he shared it with the Wolverine, who tried to go in and kill that T-3485M first and then died. And the T-3485M, he got 3 kills as well, and one of those happened to be Spybot. And of course, Spybot did get 3 kills. Second place, joint second place, was the Firefly 5C, who got 2 kills. The M4A1, who also got 2, and a Leather Slaves medal, and the Bishop on his team. Nobody on the enemy team managed to get more than 1 kill other than that T-3485M. When it came to base XP, it's Spybot, yes, 1,159. He's the only player to get over 1,000 in that game. And technically speaking, that means he's top in all 3 columns. And the next highest base XP after that is the Wolverine with 880 and a 741 for the M10 RBFM. And he was the guy who took out the T-3485M right at the end of the game. 8 shots fired, 8 direct hits on the enemy, but only 7 penetrations. And of course, the shot that actually missed was the shot he fired at the Bishop, and it hit the hull of the Bishop, which is a pure Valentine tank. And unfortunately, the Valentine tank is renowned for having very good armor in certain spots. And the bit that he hit was the certain spot actually does have good armor, the tracks. And consequently, he didn't penetrate that guy, but he did get 7 other pens, and they did do a lot of damage. 3,091 hit points of damage, of which 1,753 were at more than 300 meters. He received 9 hits from the enemy, 6 of them penetrated, 3 non-penetrations. And yes, the 6th penetration was the one from the T-3485M, which was fatal. 590 hit points of damage was blocked by armor. He damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 3, and did 295 hit points of damage assistance, and he got 7 defense points when he reset the cap. That was the shot on the OI. On a free-to-play account, he earned 49,655 credits from the battle, and after ammunition resupply and consumables, or repair and shells rather, he actually ended up with 41,224 credits profit. 1,159 base XP times 2 for the first victory, 232 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 2,550 experience points altogether. He said, I think I carried this one. Yeah, I think you did actually. Yeah, but you just blasted the enemy, and it's certainly very, very effective. And I know a lot of people think when they see the box tank, oh my god, that's so incredibly OP. I must have one of these to play it. The difficulty is in knowing how to play it because, as I said, the armor is very thin. You can penetrate it, and you can take these down. So you are going to have a very short-lived battle if you expose yourself to enemy fire too often. But if you play it the way Spybot played it, except of course that end bit where he actually went over the ridgeline and on his gun depression let him down. But if you play it like Spybot played it before that shot, then you would have a really great game and really enjoy yourself because you're blasting away and deleting enemy tanks at distance. And it can be so much fun doing that. If you enjoyed this replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.